All right, we are recording.
We're recording? That's my catchphrase, right? That I always say to you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. This is my booktube channel, and I'm Shauna. Woo, okay. I'm still really bad at intros. I'm trying to figure that out. But thank you guys so much for joining me. This is going to be my July reading wrap up. It's going to be quick and sweet, to the point. I didn't read a whole lot in July, so that's why. So we'll just jump right on into it. So the first book that I read in July is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. And this, sorry. We have a new person on set today, and she is very excited. The first book that I read in the month of July is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. If you are not already familiar, because it has been blasted over all social media sites, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like everywhere. It is about, it's a love story, it's a romance, but it's kind of like a dark humor romance sort of situation, and you will soon find out why. This story is about Sloane and Rowan, our two main characters, and they are both serial killers. I know, what a way to start a story. So they are both serial killers who are killing people. They enjoy killing people, and they are mostly after people who do really bad things. So think kind of like Dexter in a sense. Like, he enjoys serial killing, but he's using it for good. So that's kind of what this is about. These two meet actually in the middle of Sloane killing somebody, and she had been captured. So that's like literally the first chapter. They meet, and thus begins their tumultuous love story. They play this game with each other every year. Rowan's brother finds somebody who deserves to be killed, basically, either another like murderer, rapist, what have you, and he sends these two, Sloane and Rowan, off on a wild goose chase. He just gives them a location and is like, here you go, like somewhere in Kentucky, and they just go. And they have to figure out, and whoever gets to kill that person first wins the game. And so they play this over several years, and obviously like their love story starts to form and develop, and it's really good. Like I said, it's really dark humor. So go in with that mindset. I think a lot of people kind of see these books and have heard about these books and want to read it and go in with this mindset of, you know, it's going to be this really dark, gritty sort of romance, because you would think it with two serial killers. But it's actually really comical, and it's very kind of lighthearted, as much as you can be with a serial killer romance story. But that is basically what this book is about, and I really enjoyed it. I think it was a little overhyped, but again, I think it's also because people go in with this expectation of, like I said before, of it's gonna be this dark, gritty sort of romance, and that's not what it is. So I think just going in with certain expectations will definitely help a lot, remembering that it's very much a dark humor sort of book. But I enjoyed their story, and I enjoyed the characters. I thought they were great. You know, not my most favorite read, but I definitely enjoyed it. So I still recommend it to people because, like I said, I enjoyed it, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. So the next book that I read in the month of July is actually the second book in this series, and it is called Lark and Leather. Hi everyone, future Shauna here. Just jumping in to let you know that I made a mistake. It is actually Leather and Lark is the title of the book. As you can see from the picture, that is somewhere in the nether regions of this video. Just wanted to drop in and say that. So sorry, my mistake. It's Leather and Lark, not Lark and Leather. And so this actually takes place, so this is all going to be a trilogy, and it's called the Ruinous Love Trilogy. So the third one hasn't come out yet. Lark and Leather just came out a couple of months ago. And this actually is following one of Rowan's brothers, Lachlan, and his love story between it is Sloane's best friend, Lark, and Rowan's brother, Lachlan. A lot of L's. But this one, we're following their love story, and kind of, you know, we see a little bit of something forming in the first book, but we then get to focus on these two in the second book, and you find out more about Lachlan's past, and what has gone on with the brothers. He is very much an asshole. I love him. We love the assholes, I don't know why. I love Lark. So I think a lot of people really missed Sloane and Rowan, but I actually really enjoyed Lark and Lachlan's story a little bit more. I felt like, I don't know what it was. I can't even put my finger on it as to why I liked their story so much. Don't get me wrong, I think the atmosphere and the vibe of like Sloane and Rowan's love in the first book was really cool. The concept is really cool, like two serial killers falling in love. But then you look at Lark and Lachlan's love story and it's different. Their atmosphere is different, but these characters I think have more drive for me. And I love them overall. And Lark is a singer, so she has a lot of like musical stuff that happens in this book. And so it's really good. I felt like I enjoyed this one a little bit more than the first one, but still overall enjoyed both, and I can't wait to see the third one. I'm assuming it's gonna be about the third brother with the boys because he kind of has somewhat of a love interest going on throughout like both books. He pops in here and there, but I guess we'll find out. But it is a trilogy, so we know there's gonna be one more. When it comes out, I have no idea. So the next book that I will say I finished in the month of July, because I started reading it a couple of months ago, is For the Crown by Hannah Whitten.
Oh, I did it again. The title of this book is For the Throne by Hannah Whitten. Not For the Crown. Look at the title, the cover of the book, the graphic that's going to be placed on here. Please, please, please forgive me. I don't know what was wrong with me that day, but I was saying all of these titles wrong. It is For the Throne by Hannah Whitten. So sorry.
And this is the second book in her series, and it's duology. So the first one was For the Wolf, and I talked about that one in my last monthly wrap up, so I will link that video down in the description below if you would like to go check it out. So in this second book, we are picking up basically right where we left off from the first book, and instead of, we're still following both sisters because it is about twin sisters. Instead of following the one main sister, Red, in the first one, we are now following Neve more so in the second one, or Nevra, which I think is a gorgeous name. So we're kind of following her a little bit more so in the second book, but we still get the perspective of Red in this book as they are trying to kind of get back to each other. So that's basically all I can really say about the second book as far as synopsis goes, without giving anything away. But I enjoyed this one too. Again, I talk about it in my last monthly wrap up with the first book. I feel like I just did not read this at a good time. I just was not paying close enough attention like I wanted to because I listened to the audiobooks for both of them. So I definitely want to give both of these a reread because I still love their concepts and the characters were, I thought, really well developed. And the world was really cool. I think there were just a lot of pieces and details that I missed to thoroughly enjoy it. So I definitely want to go back to reread these two. So stay tuned for more on that. All right, so the last book that I read is going to be a nonfiction book, actually. And it is called You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. I read her first book, which is, I don't remember the full title, but I know it's You Are a Badass. I think it's like Stop Doubting Yourself, I want to say. I have it somewhere in the house or on my shelf. This book, though, her first book, I will start with saying, really changed my mindset on a lot of things. She made such good points about the way that we view life and how the universe and all her mightiness brings us exactly what we're after. And it's basically law of attraction in a sense. Like, we attract what we put out into the universe. And so I love this concept and I love this idea because it's actually changed my mindset a lot on how I think about things in life. I've fallen out of habit for some of these things, unfortunately, but I'm trying to get back into it. And so she wrote this book, You Are a Badass at Making Money, more so focusing on the fact of law of attraction, you know, all of this, like changing our mindset on how we view money. Because inherently as a society, for whatever reason, we view money as like, we have like a love-hate relationship with it. We love to have a lot of it, but we also like really spurn and like talk crap about people who are rich and the people who have money. Like, oh, they're just rich and snooty. And like, it's about changing our mindset of that, like, and the fact that we deserve money, and money does offer us a lot of things. There's the quote out there that's like, money can't buy you happiness. No, but it can buy you the freedom to do the things that make you happy. And that's the thing, is like kind of changing that mindset and our perspective on money itself. I flew through this book. It was so good. And there are a lot of like exercises she puts at the end of every chapter. So I've started working through a lot of those. And I will tell you, really, if you read this book, really do the exercises. I know I'm pretty bad at times of like, oh, like I think about, like, she's like, list 5 things of such and such and such. And I'll do it kind of in my head. But I'm actually writing it down and thinking about these things and having deep thoughts about it and putting it down on paper. And let me tell you, it makes a big difference. There are some exercises she has you do in here, like write a letter to money. How do you feel about money? Just talk to money as if it were a person and write it out. Write a day in the life of like your perfect day. Like, what does your perfect day envision? Put no limitations on it. And let me tell you, I wrote a full, like almost a full page of like in detail of what my day would look like, down to like having a specific coffee cart in my house to wake up to in the morning with my fancy espresso machine and all the different syrups to choose from and making a cup of coffee. Putting those details down on paper and like really opening yourself up to these things, I was almost in tears, like writing this perfect day in my life. And I could picture it so vividly. And I know that it's gonna happen because of that, because I could picture all of the tiny little details and I wrote them down. So that's the thing, is like, that's what this book is basically about. It's not financial advice. She is not a financial advisor. She's not a banker. She doesn't know any of that stuff. What she does know is how to change our perception on how we view money and how to really allow ourselves the opportunities that are right in front of us that we may not even see. So I really enjoy it. I absolutely love her books. I'm gonna read more of them because she's got a couple more out. She also has some journals that you can do as well along with some of her books. So I definitely wanna check those out. But it was great. You need to go read it. All right, so that is pretty much everything I read in the month of July. I told you guys it was not a lot, but that is okay, because I think 4 is still quite a bit, right? I'm getting enthusiastic nods over here from the gang. So yes, 4 books in a month is quite a bit. I am still really happy with it, and I am glad to share it with you guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel. Hit that subscribe button if you aren't already. You can hit the bell icon if you want to be notified anytime I post a new video. I also have all my social linked down below, so go follow me. I would love to check out your guys' stuff too, but you can stay up to date on all the things that I am posting. I am also a freelance editor, so if you happen to be an author, feel free to reach out if you need any help with editing services. And then I think other than that, we just need Lily. We might have to use Corin because Lily is being a little brat today. There we go. You made her appearance. You made your appearance. You can go.
Corin.
Corin!